Hello everybody, Jamie here from FM Scout. In today's video, we're going to be looking at my top 5 Eastern European clubs to manage on Football Manager 2020. So if you are struggling for a save to do, and you are kind of looking for that little spark in a save, you know, these are the clubs that usually dominate in their country, but kind of struggle in the Champions League. So it's your kind of job to make these clubs into powerhouses in Europe and try and keep hold of your youngsters. A lot of these clubs have got really good youth intakes and youth facilities. So, you know, try and hold on to the players and try and turn these into a powerhouse in Europe, essentially. If you guys plan on doing any of these saves, let me know in the comments. If you're doing a save right now with this club, let me know in the comments how you're finding it, how you're getting on. I like to read the comments, so let me know. Let's get right into it. The first club is Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. So Dinamo Zagreb, you can see we're on the screen right now for the history of the competitions, the honours they've got. They've won the Europa League in 1967. Never won the Champions League, though they have been in the Champions League, but never won it. As you can see, they've also won the league title 20 times, which is crazy. They've won the Yugoslav First League 9 times, the Cup 15 times as well, 7 Yugoslav Cups, 1 Balkans Cup, and 16 different type of cups. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not overly familiar with Eastern Europe football, but I just want to give you some teams that I like in Eastern Europe. Of course, I picked up players from these type of clubs, so I'm a football man. I do know who's kind of the best team in the league. But if we quickly look, at their season preview, maybe. So let's have a little look. We're going to look for a few things on each of these clubs. So they are predicted top of the league. I'm not going to go into the rules too much. You guys, before deciding to do one of these saves, should really check the rules out of this league. So to do that, just go to the club and then press rules and just have a look, because some of these clubs, only might allow 5 foreigners, for example. So if that doesn't really suit you, check the rules out before you go into this league. Right, so yeah, Dinamo Zagreb are predicted to finish top of the league. So again, second Hajduk Split, the team that will probably give you the most bother throughout season by season, but it's not too difficult to become much more superior than Hajduk Split. A bit of nice management. You can see you've already got the 2 best players in the league at your club. First one being Dominik Livakovic, 24-year-old Croatian, £8 million. Very good stats, good goalkeeper. You've got the base already. So Dominik Livakovic is very, very good. I don't know how long you'll be able to keep hold of him, but that is the challenge of these saves. The other good player is Dani Olmo. So you can see Dani Olmo, Spanish, 21 years old attacking midfielder. You've got some very good potential in this team, which is awesome. He is wanted by Manchester United. So it's going to be hard to keep hold of these players, but that's the challenge. A lot of you guys who do manage in Eastern Europe kind of know this already, so I don't want to go over it too much. But essentially, sometimes you have to sell to invest. And invest in your facilities. Try and become the powerhouse of that nation, essentially. So yeah, looking at Dinamo Zagreb, I mean, they're a very good club. If we look at the finance, they've got £20 million in the bank. So, you've got a good amount of money. You've got £7 million to spend from the off. You've got a wage budget of around 177,000, which is very good. 183,000, sorry. So yeah, that's the first club, Dinamo Zagreb. Let's move on to the next club. And the next club we move on to is Red Star Belgrade in the Serbian Superliga. This club is it's got a lot of history with this club. Again, it was kind of in the Yugoslav as well. They've got a very big derby with Partizan. It's called the Eternal Derby. So they're massive rivals in Serbia. Of course, there's been a lot of money problems in Red Star Belgrade over the last few years. I mean, you'll probably notice that on your save, it might be called Crvena Zvezda. I've got the name thick, so I think they've put it back to Red Star Belgrade, but it'll either be Crvena Zvezda or Red Star Belgrade. Now, you can see Red Star Belgrade have actually won the Champions League in 1991, not that long ago, when you think about it. They've also won the Intercontinental Cup, Yugoslav First League, they've won 19 times, Jelen Super League 11 times, Yugoslav Cup 12 times, the other cup 12 times, and another cup twice. So you can see they're kind of at the top pretty much most of the time. Now, like I say, Partizan is also a very big club in Serbia. So you're always kind of challenging. It's going to take you a while to kind of become much more superior than that club. But if we look at quickly their season preview, you'll see Partizan just in this. So let's have a look at the season preview. So you can see Partizan are second favourites. They are evens as well. There's also Kukariki, who's kind of You know, they are coming into the limelight quite a lot. They have made some appearances in the Champions League and stuff like that over the recent times. But yeah, Red Star still are predicted the highest club in this league. If we quickly look at their finances, so they've got £16 million in the bank. They've got a wage budget of £149,000, and they've got a transfer budget of only 2.5. But if we quickly go back to the season preview, we'll look at the players. So the best player is Marco Marin. Is the best player in the league, is a 30-year-old German inverted winger. Look at the crossing. I mean, this is a guy that's going to kind of carry you, and his value is very low. So this is a guy that's going to carry you throughout. Again, look at the rules for this league if you do think of coming to Serbia. But if we look as well at their facilities, so let's have a look what Red Star Belgrade, because they do tend to produce a lot of good players. So if we look at their facilities, just right here, so you can see they've got exceptional youth recruitment, which is the most important thing. They've got great training, excellent youth facilities. So these are a club that is going to produce region after region for you. Then it's your job to obviously keep them. If we quickly look at their under-23s at the moment, I don't know why I need to do this again, but if we go to the under-19s, let's have a look at the squad. So you can see the potential in the team. They've got a 16-year-old with 5-star potential under the name of Vukasin Kristic. This guy, again, you have a lot of potential with Red Star Belgrade, and you can really turn this team into a powerhouse. You just need to give it a few years, get the foundations down of what you want to achieve. You know, maybe bring in some other players, but again, check the rules to exactly who you can bring in. But this is Red Star Belgrade. The next club we're going to look at is Steaua București in Romania. Now, if you guys remember, probably 10 years ago, there was like a golden generation for Romania. You would always get wonder kids from Romania. I can't remember the names off the top of my head. Gabriel something. I can't remember his name. You guys might have to help me out in the chat. But there was like, I can't remember what version it was, but there was probably 4 or 5 that the Romanian guys, you would just kind of bring them into the Premier League, and they would turn out amazing wonder kids. There was amazing wonder kids at that point. I can't remember which FM it was. It might be something like FM20 or something like that. If you guys can remember, let me know. I can't remember the guys' names as well. Bogdan Stanciu, it's just come to me, and there was a right winger as well. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, Steaua București, they have won the Champions League in 1986. They've also won the UEFA Super Cup in 1986. They've won 26 league titles, 22 cups, another 6 and another 2. So Steaua București are that club in Romania that everyone expects to kind of finish top, and generally should. I mean, over the last few years, they have kind of finished second, though. So you need to kind of, you know, they enjoyed a spell of dominance by the looks of it in 12, 13 and 14. But somebody else did win that league 4 years in a row. So you need to kind of do something with this club. Try and get them back into the spotlight. If we look at the past winners of the league, that might give us a bit more information to kind of see who's finishing at the top. So you can see there's been 4 different actual winners. Steaua București finishing second runner-up the last 4 years, but CFR Cluj are kind of taking the limelight in the last 2 years. So it's going to be tricky to try and finish top. I mean, I don't know if you'll actually be predicted to finish top. Let's have a look at the season preview. So you're actually predicted to finish second now. Steaua București have, of course, won the most trophies in Romania out of all the clubs. You haven't got the best player in the league. The best 2 players are actually at CFR Cluj. But again, you've got to put the work in. These saves aren't just going to kind of, you know, you're not going to have 50 million to spend like in the Premier League. You're not going to have the TV money. You need to rely on bringing in young players, selling them on for a lot of money. Get the club to where you need it in terms of finances, and then go. So Bogdan Planic is your best player, a centre-back who's got 16 tackling, 27-year-old Serbian. He is currently wanted by a few clubs, mainly in Saudi Arabia. But a good player, a good start, you know. Again, you've got a centre-back, which is very good. But yeah, that is Steaua București. Let's have a little look at their facilities. So if we go to Steaua București and then go to facilities. So again, you've got excellent youth. You've got good youth. You've got great training. You've got the facilities there. You are due to move into a different stadium, which is a 15,000 capacity stadium, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure about that because they're in a 55,000 all-seater stadium, but it says plan move due to move into 15,000 capacity Nikolai Dobrin on the 1st of the 7th, 2019. So maybe there's something I don't know about this. If you guys, if there's any Romanians in the chat, let me know what this is about, because that's quite interesting why they're getting a reduced capacity. That could make it even harder if that is the case. Might be something else. But yeah, that is Steaua București. And we are moving to Slovakia now at Slovan Bratislava, a team that does produce a lot of good regions. We're just on the history tab right now. You can see they have actually won the Champions League or the European Cup in 1969. They've won the Fortuna Liga only 9 times, which is quite interesting. 15 cups though, and another 4 cups as well. You can see they had quite a bad spell. They was kind of dominating in 1998, 99. They had a big decline. They actually got relegated in 03, 04. They spent a year in the second division. They then got promoted, and they've obviously continued from kind of 06, 07. They finished 3rd in the first season back in that league. They dropped down to 5th, and they've kind of been near the top ever since. I mean, they won it twice in 12, 13 and 13, 14, but then they kind of dropped down again, 3rd place in 14, 15, and then slowly kind of settled around the 2nd spot, and then actually won it last year. So Slovan Bratislava is a very good club to manage. If we quickly look at the season preview to see who you may be, challenging against. So, I mean, I don't really recognise them. I mean, I've seen Trenchin and stuff like that, and Zilna in the Europa League and stuff like that. But Slovan Bratislava is a club that will be in the Champions League this year. I think you might have to do some qualifiers, but again, a good chance to get a bit of money into the club. They haven't won the league apart from last year, about 6 years before that. So you have got the 2 best players in the league though. And the first one is Andras Sapora, 25-year-old striker, Slovenian, international, which is the main thing, advanced forward, very good stats, should score goals for fun in this league. I mean, looking at his record, 42 appearances, 32 goals. This is a guy that you desperately need to keep hold of if you was to be successful for the first few years and kind of consolidate that first place spot. So looking back as well, is a player that actually came on my hidden gems list. Which is funny because this video is coming out and this player is actually on my hidden gem list at 6 p.m. Which is quite interesting. I wasn't expecting this. So Moa is an inverted winger, again, very, very good. He is wanted by a few clubs. But yeah, if we look at the facilities of Slovan Bratislava, excellent youth, top corporate, good training, basic data, and good youth facilities. A great benchmark to start. If we look quickly at the finances, so you've got only £364,000 in the bank. You've only got a wage budget of 43k as well, so a bit of a harder save to do. You've got more wage, but you've got more transfer budget than you've got in the bank. So you need to be very careful in terms of signing players. Try and keep the wage budget as low as you can. Bring us maybe some African players. Check the rules, see what you can bring in. But yeah, that is Slovan Bratislava in Slovakia. Moving on to the next one. And the final one is in Ukraine, Shakhtar Donetsk. A club that I find really, really interesting. And I'll tell you a few reasons why I find this interesting. But quickly first, let's look at the history. So they won the Europa League back in 2009, not that long ago. So this is the club out of all the 5 teams that's kind of got the most success, kind of currently, I guess. They've won the league 12 times, 13 times something else, another something else 8 times, and the Copa del Sol once. They have won the league in the last 3 years. So in the Ukraine, they are kind of classed. I mean, they had a bit of a down spell in 14, 15, 15, 16. Before that, they won the league about 5 times in a row. And then it was kind of up and down from there. But yeah, Shakhtar Donetsk, very, very good club. And the reason I like this is because they used to have a manager called Mikhail Lukescu. And he wanted to do like he envisioned like a combined Ukraine-Brazilian squad. And Shakhtar have continued this trend. So they have a lot of Brazilian players in Ukraine, which you'll probably notice if you would have seen these before. But it was by a Romanian manager called Mikhail Lukescu. But yeah, it's quite interesting because if you look at the squad, they do have a few Brazilians in the squad, as you can see. So no less than 10, which is what they'll always kind of have. And you like I say, there's been a few players come from Shakhtar who are Brazilian, and the values are really high, as you can see. So yeah, let's have a look at the season preview, though. If we go into the season preview, Shakhtar, of course, are predicted to finish top. You will get a few issues by Dynamo Kiev, a team that will probably challenge you quite a lot in the league. Zoya as well are quite good, and Vorslaka are good as well. So you have got the 2 best players in the league in Tyson and Marlos. So Tyson is a 31-year-old Brazilian left winger, very good dribbling, good acceleration, very good stats, 12.5 million. A lot of these players will kind of get scouted away from you by bigger clubs once you start bringing them in. Because the thing is, they have really good facilities. So they've got good youth recruitment, superb youth facilities and superb training facilities. What I would try and do is get that youth recruitment quite high early on. But in terms of the finances for the club, you've got roughly around £38 million in the bank. So you've got a lot of money. You're in the Champions League. This is a club that's kind of been in the quarterfinals quite a lot. They do tend to get through the group stages, depending, of course, on the group that they're in. But they are a club that do tend to get past that group stage in the Champions League. But yeah, you've got 7.6 million to spend and a 321,000 wage budget. So the highest we've seen. This is a team that I've always wanted to try, and I probably will try it at some point because I think you could really put your stamp on this club. Would you kind of continue the trend? If you were to take over Shakhtar Donetsk, would you kind of continue the trend of no less than 10 Brazilians? It's quite interesting to see what you guys would do in that stage. Would you change the trend? You know, it's quite interesting. So I don't know if there's anything in the club vision that could say that you have to get 10 Brazilians, have 10 Brazilians in your squad. I very much doubt it, but that's kind of the trend that Shakhtar have gone by. But yeah, this has been my top 5 European clubs to manage, Eastern European clubs to manage in Football Manager 2020. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.